Salzer. How are you doing, Mr. Salzer? Good to see you. Ms. Rutherford, Ms. Bryant are unable to attend tonight. Just in case anybody's wondering, I'll call the meeting to order. Before we get started, I just want to ask, since Monday was Veterans Day, if all those folks in the room that are in active service or have served the country in military service, please rise so we know who you are. Veterans, active duty, full-time reserves. If everyone would please now stand for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you, Mr. Evans. Thank you for your service, Mr. Asbell. Did I miss anyone who stood in the back that I didn't see? Mr. Clerk.
Roll call, please. Sixteen present. Next, approval of minutes.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes, please? Mr. Rosenbaum, Mr. Robinson. Wow, Barry, you're right in the middle. Any additions, corrections? Everybody read them, right? Please vote.
Ayes. Next, a proclamation recognizing November 15th as America Recycles Day.
Thank you very much. If Member Pastucha would please join us at the front. Welcome. With her very, very special guest.
This is a proclamation. Whereas Peoria County recognizes the importance of protecting and preserving our natural resources and adopting conscientious habits that will improve our daily lives and bring about a cleaner, economical, and more sustainable environment. And whereas, although there has been a significant increase in the amount of recycling in Peoria County to date, which has improved our economy and created jobs, we must also continue to focus our initiatives such as waste reduction, composting, the reuse of product and materials, and purchasing recycled products. And whereas, by encouraging businesses, state agencies, nonprofit organizations, schools, and individuals to celebrate America Recycles Day 2019, we can further promote recycling as daily environmentally efficient and economically smart habit. And whereas, state and community leaders can help encourage recycling by informing citizens about local recycling options, they can also help foster greater awareness of the need to expand collection programs by promoting the benefits of recycling for businesses and the environment. And whereas, it is important that all citizens become involved in recycling activities and learn more about the many environmentally friendly recycled and recyclable products available to them as consumers. It is also fitting for Peoria County to celebrate America Recycles Day 2019 and take action by educating citizens and businesses about the recycling options available to our community. Now, therefore, I, Andrew Rand, Chairman of the Peoria County Board, on behalf of the County Board, do hereby recognize November 15th, 2019 as America Recycles Day.
Well, I will just take a moment to say this is the fall event that we have. In the spring, we have Earth Day. So this is another opportunity that me and my colleagues get to share the wonderful programs that we have available locally and also nationally, and encourage people to recycle right, and buy recycled, just like the carpet here, and it was all made from recycled plastic. And also, if you look at the table that we have out in the hallway, we have wonderful programs that companies that take time to take those materials that we all have put in our recycling bins and take that and turn it into another product, so that it's a material that it's getting further use of their life and keeping it out of our landfills. So encourage you to do at least one thing today to recycle something and be proud of being in Peoria County. Thank you.
And I just want to thank you, Karen and Becca, for everything you do for the county for recycling. The community events that you put together and everything, so thank you.
Both, appreciate it.
There are no citizens' remarks. Next, consent agenda.
Before we get to the consent agenda, I just want to add that just before tonight's meeting, I had a chance to meet with Member Pastucia, Scott, and Karen, and some folks from, I don't want to say Ameren, am I going to be right? Regarding the county's use of energy. We had a rather lengthy and robust discussion, and I sense that there'll be an Easter egg hunt in March for stuff throughout our campuses that we're going to look and find and see some opportunities to improve our power utilization by unplugging stuff that shouldn't be plugged in or similar. So Kate's going to head that project up. Scott's going to be the bunny, but stay tuned. It'll be fun. We're still working on the prizes, but we just roughed out the sketch today. Mr. Clerk, did you call?
Yes, now consent agenda.
All right, who'd like to put it on the floor? Thank you, Mr. Salzer. Thank you, Mr. Fennel. On consent, we have a couple items that do require supermajority, 5 and 6. Any comments? Everybody good with the items? Nobody need to pull anything? Seeing none, please vote.
Sixteen ayes.
Thank you.
Next, zoning ordinance and resolutions. Item 1, case 43-19Z, petition of Leonard and Peggy Livengood, a rezoning request from A2 agricultural to RR rural residential. The petitioner proposes to rezone the property in order to combine with an adjacent parcel. The parcel is located in Kickapoo Township. The Zoning Board of Appeals recommends approval. The Land Use Committee concurs.
Mr. Dillon? Mr. Fennel? Any discussion? Does this need any embellishment or explanation? Everybody good? You good, Mr. Dillon? Okay. Any questions? All right. Don't make this easy, y'all. We might break a record. Please vote.
16 ayes.
Thank you.
Next, item 2, case 44-19U, petition of Mike Dawson, a special use request from section 20-75116B of the Unified Development Ordinance, which allows for a non-residential sign that is a billboard located off premises in the I-1 Light Industrial District. The petitioner is proposing to construct an off-premise billboard for a business located approximately 700 feet to the east. The parcel is located in Kickapoo Township. The Zoning Board of Appeals recommends approval with restrictions. The Land Use Committee concurs.
Thank you, Mr. Dillon on the first, and a second, Mr. Elsesser. Thank you. Any comments? Mr. Elsesser.
Well, I'm thankful this work has worked out for Mr. Dawson. I've been in contact with him for several years and on this issue, and he's just a small business person trying to make a living, and I'm just glad this will help his business, and if you need to exercise, I guess it'd be a good place to go.
Thank you. I know your marks are expected to induce or indicate some humility, like farmers are small business, right? You always say that about farmers, they're small business. All right, seeing anyone else's hand would be no, please vote.
16 ayes. Item 3, a resolution from the chairman of the County Health Committee and the County Administrator recommending approval to extend the current contract with Tobin and Associates for 2019-2020 for management recruitment services and placement of interim administrator at Headington Oaks at an amount not to exceed $200,000.
Ms. Williams on the first, Mr. Salzer on the second. I'll let Scott just embellish why we're at this point, so.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We put out in the weekly update a couple weeks ago, our administrator left on good terms without violating HIPAA. I can share that his family has some medical issues that really requires him to take some different stock in what he's doing in his daily life at this time. As a result, in the immediate short term, we are obviously required to have a licensed nursing home administrator in the facility. We're contracting with Tobin and Associates, or at least that's what we're recommending that you approve, to provide those services to us for the amount not to exceed 200. It should be well less than that, but you can see it goes into 2020. I'm happy to try and answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Sorrell. All right, seeing none, we have it on the floor. I saw a first and a second. Please vote.
Fifteen ayes, 1 nay.
Thank you, Ms. Williams, for getting all that work done.
Next, miscellaneous and announcements.
All right, so I'll start on this side of the room. Give the privilege of the floor to the most senior members. Mr. Watkins, any announcements? Keep moving. Seeing my way to nothing, Phil. All right, good.
Talk?
Sure.
Because
Member
Bob
Sullivan.
Bida's not here, but Bob Bida was part of this. Years ago, our highway department, their sign company out there, part of their duties help making signs for us. Anyway, we tried to honor Jim Thome one time, which we did by putting some signs and putting them up at different roads in the county. And Bob and I made the presentation to Jim at one of the big fundraisers that he would do for the Children's Hospital here in Peoria. Well, this summer, somehow there was a guy, I think in another county, it might have been Fulton County, advertising he had a sign really that belonged to us. And I learned about it, believe it or not, by way of this mass means of communication that has taken over our society. So I mentioned it to our sheriff, and he said, well, they didn't know about it. This guy was advertising selling it and so forth. And I want to thank the sheriff because the sheriff got on this, and I don't know who was able to track this down, but Sheriff Asbell, I want to thank you for getting this back in our possession, and maybe we should now look forward to honoring Jim again because now he is a Hall of Famer, the only one in the history of our county.
Thank you both. Phil, I'm pretty sure all of us believe you're the original Hall of Famer from Peoria County. Multi-sport, multi-discipline educator as well. Don't touch the mic button, Phil. Mr. Dillon?
That is true. Coach is in the National Hall of Fame for track and field. He won't tell anybody that, but he is.
I know he won't.
But I just wanted to make a quick comment that I had the pleasure of today, and I know Sharon attended it earlier, of attending planning and zoning. And I thanked the planning and zoning board members on behalf of the county board for all the work that they do to get these land use issues to us. That was a full day that they had today. They didn't leave here until about after 2:30. So they were here. They didn't have lunch because the meetings had gone over. So Kathy was passing out granola bars, and they all wanted to basically say back to is comment about how wonderful our planning and zoning staff is with Kathy and Andrew and their team about how much information. They gave a great presentation today. I was in attendance for the marijuana land use issues. and that passed unanimously out of that to license it like a tavern. So that we'll be seeing that come forward next month. But I just wanted to. I usually don't attend because that's its own board and they should make their own judgments. But I wanted to thank them on behalf of our board today, and they were very appreciative of that. So again, thank you to Planning and Zoning for all that you guys do.
Thank you, Mr. Dillon. Mr. Fennell?
Yeah, unlike my counterpart here, I wasn't here for the marijuana today. But anyway, going along, I'd like to throw a few shout outs for our Chillicothe Gray Ghost and having a perfect 9-0 season, and they won their first game, so they were 10-1 for the year. So,
Outstanding. Others? I'm not slowing down, Mr. Reverend Robinson.
First and foremost, I'd like to wish everybody a happy and blessed holiday season as we go into it. And if I could, I'd like to say, do something nice for someone that's not expecting it. I mean, your family knows they're going to get stuff. You're going to get fed well, but there's people out there that you could really change their life just by doing something little for them. So have a blessed and happy holiday season to all my comrades here.
Thank you. Mr. Windish, welcome, sir.
I guess I need to bring up that maybe we need to apologize for some of the wonderful headlines that have been brought to the Peoria County board members this, what has it been, this past week or so. There's going to be some things that need to be worked out. There's a lot more there. Just figured we might as well bring it up, but appreciate the support everybody's had, and we'll see how it turns out. But I guess as long as Andrew keeps the doors unlocked and the gavel on the stand there, we'll still be eating Thanksgiving dinner together.
Thank you. And as I have said to Matt on 2 occasions as we've talked about this, thank you for your candor. Thank you for the call that morning, and you have my full, unequivocal support. Others? Dr. Blair.
I mentioned this last month, but we do have on Monday from 9 until 2 the Turner School for Entrepreneurship and Innovation at Bradley is hosting its 2nd annual Entrepreneurship Ecosystem Conference. Startups can't happen without support from the community, so not just in terms of financing, but governmental support from people purchasing items from these companies. So I hope you can attend that conference. Thanks.
Thank you.
could
All
you
right.
send us an email on that? Thank you.
Scott, could you get that to us, please? I think that's a great idea. Thank you, Mr. Fennell. Okay, I don't really have any reason to belabor the evening except to point out that we welcome to our chamber tonight Sherry Carter Allen, who's being all kinds of demure over there. But I saw her. I didn't want to get you at the beginning for fear you might leave. I waited to the end so you would stay. And then we have a birthday in the house. Randy Bruner is 44 years old tonight. Randy? I hope your math is better than mine, Randy. Congratulations. You could hide back there and all that stuff, but we still made fun of you. We'd be adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Happy holidays. Safe travels.
That's the shortest on record.
Yeah, pretty close, isn't it, Coach?